just training camp with the Jets is done. You're starting with the Moose another year. How much excitement do you have for another year here in the AHL?
Yeah, a lot. I think we're really excited. I mean, the time of year is always great, Dave. You get to come back, you get to play competitive hockey again, and then as you get closer to games, you get really excited. So it was a great learning experience with the Jets. There, it was a good camp, a lot of good feedback, and being able to play with some of those guys is pretty cool to kind of see where you stack up. And now it's Moose season. We're ready. We feel good about this year, and we can't wait for Saturday against Iowa.
In terms of just sticking with the Jet stuff for now, what did you learn? I mean, when you measure yourself up against guys, NHLers, whether it's in a game or even just at a practice, how did you see your development, the work you put in over the summer, translate to the training camp?
Yeah, it's cool for a bunch of reasons. You get to see where you are now, and then you can also kind of compare that to where you were, last year or the year before that, or your first camp, and see the strides that you have made. The biggest thing up there that I learned, is just kind of in the details. It's just how it's the most minute things that make a difference. Your stick positioning, where you are lined up relative to other guys, that kind of thing. So, those little things make a big difference, and you want to work on them when you're down here.
In terms of the Moose season ahead, you touched on it, a lot of excitement. This seems to be a good veteran group, but also a lot of good prospects. Just in terms of being able to build on what you guys did last year, because it was remarkable, right? Going from last in the AHL to a playoff spot. So how much can you translate from last season, or is it a whole new season, a whole new slate?
Yeah, I mean, it's a mix of both. Like you said, we have a lot of guys on this team that were there last year. And we know how it felt kind of at the beginning or mid-year, and we know how we ended, and we have that feeling with us. We want to keep that. So we're going into this year, on all cylinders. We want to start right where we left off last year, and win some hockey games.
In terms of your role on this team, I mean, you're a young guy still, relatively, especially relative to us. But just in terms of your experience at the AHL level, there's some new guys, some new faces. How do you make guys like Elias, who we just chatted with, who's a new face on the back end, feel welcome as part of this team?
Yeah, I think the culture here is great. Started my first year in the league, came in, felt like a member of the team right away. So, there are a lot of the same guys who were there at that time, and then the guys that were brought up after, like myself and others who kind of got to experience that. We're just do the same thing. We're all friends in that locker room. We're all brothers, and we're stepping on the same sheet to battle together, each and every day. So we build that trust, we build that love for each other, and I think it's just about being good people to each other.